No balls, 2 strikes. Hamilton's gone, 1 out.
So you're living in New York in 2001. We were in the midst of a Yankee dynasty.
Beyonce gets into one to center. Back is Brian Williams, a 3-peat. The New York Yankees.
The whole World Series was in New York. Mets against the Yankees. 2001. We're just kind of like, riding on the coattails of that.
There was a lot of enthusiasm for baseball in New York City at the time.
It was exciting. I mean, we had just won 3 straight World Series.
So as a Met, we were trying to find our way back there.
Getting towards the end of the regular season, all the talk in the city was, here we go again in the postseason.
Once I turned the TV on, I seen what had happened. Right away I got on the phone with my wife, and as we were talking for a while, the second plane hit.
And that's when I started really feeling a little panicky, because I started feeling like, well, this doesn't sound like an accident anymore. It looks more like an attack.
The hotel that we happened to stay in Pittsburgh was connected to the Federal Building, and they started just evacuating the area around the Federal Building.
Confusion. Then it was fear, it was concern. I think all those emotions go through your head at once.
And then once we got to the George Washington Bridge, it was at nightfall. The guys on the left side of the bus came over to the right side of the bus and were looking out the window. See Ground Zero, all the spotlights and the smoke just coming up still. And you could hear a pin drop on that bus ride,
That was a powerful moment. That was the most silent I'd ever seen a group of these guys.
You think about the energy and the excitement in New York City. Now all of a sudden, it's not there. It was like a movie scene, and walking around New York City and no cars, no traffic. The only thing you saw were police cars and firefighters and ambulances and people walking in the middle of the streets. Silent, it was quiet, it was eerie.
We all felt a little bit helpless, didn't know what we could or should do.
I really felt powerless in a sense. Because of what I did, and it just seemed like very trivial at the time to think about, the sport.
At that point, I was almost like embarrassed because, what does baseball mean? When somebody's lost a family member or their father or their mother.
We weren't talking about baseball. Baseball at that moment wasn't priority. Priority was the people, in general. New York City, all the firefighters, the police department, everybody.
We came down to the ballpark. Shea Stadium became a staging area for the relief efforts, for water and for other types of supplies. And we just became sort of supply chain workers.
Just about everyone on the team came out to the parking lot and helped unload boxes and create, order in this parking lot, because we had thousands of items.
I didn't have to ask any of my teammates to come out there and help. Everybody, guys didn't want to go home. We were trying to do whatever we could to help, and that went on for a couple of days.
The one visit that impacted me the most was the armory, and really feeling this sort of eerie feeling that, why are we here? These people are in mourning, they're grieving, until somebody started yelling, "The Yankees are here, the Yankees are here." And I mean, I still get choked up, like how the whole mood of the place changed dramatically. Just meeting a lot of people. One person in particular, said, I don't know what to say to you, but I think you need a hug. And I hugged her. It's still that same sense of, helplessness and being powerless, trying to help, as much as you could.
Right there, I knew that we had something to do. We've been challenged to do something special.
It just felt like we had a responsibility. And with that, that was basically the message I delivered to my players when we had our meeting in Chicago before that first game that we played. I just told them, I said, that NY on your cap, it represents more than the Yankees. It represents the city of New York and all those who are suffering back there.
The quandary within was, okay, be competitive, you know, do the best you can. You're trying to win a baseball game. The season is resumed. But yet we had all these reminders around us of the pain and the sorrow and the suffering and all of it, destruction and death.
You know, when you go through times like this, you understand that it's bigger than just you, right? This is bigger than you. You know, this is an organization that's representing the community. It's representing New York. And, you know, that's the mindset that we took out there, is that every single day we're playing for something that's bigger than ourselves, and that's for all of New Yorkers.
When you're in a position like that and you feel people pulling for you, you feel it. You feel that energy. You feel that support.
Yankees, you either love us or hate us. And a lot of times you go on the road and you hear a lot of boos from the non-Yankee fans. And it was one of the first times that we've been on the road and you see a lot of signs saying, you know, Chicago loves New York. And even going to Boston and seeing those types of signs, it was something that you'll never forget.
But I think the thing that most caught everybody by surprise was when Bobby Valentine and Bobby Cox shook hands at home plate. Both teams followed suit. And that was something that wasn't orchestrated, just something that we both did at the time. The Brave players came up, shook our hands, telling us, hey, we're with you guys, you know, we're behind you.
Getting back to New York and playing in New York in front of our home fans for the first time and standing for the national anthem, it just felt as though the anthem felt a little bit more special during those times. And it was emotional. It was emotional for a lot of people, a lot of tears in the stands. And I'm sure there were a lot of players, myself included, that were fighting back tears.
That period of time, I think, really galvanized my loyalty and love for the city of New York and certainly for the Mets organization. We came together as a group in a way that was never intended to be a part of our baseball career, and you know, had an opportunity to do some things in this city that we would never forget and certainly transcend sports.
After 9/11, our team responded, you know, front and center. You know, nobody shied away from the responsibility. Nobody cared what the pot of gold contained at the end of it.
We played that game for 2.5, 3 hours, whatever the time may be. And we put a little Band-Aid on a big wound and made the fans not forget, but just to enjoy the moment, because it's something that we will never forget.
You feel that, like, the pride of being part of the city, and again that feeling of, you know, we're America's team now, and these are America's people, and you know, the police and the firemen, and just the pride of being able to wear those hats.
I took the time to look at everybody in the eye, shake their hand, and say thank you for all of you've done. And now it's upon us to do our job. You know, it really felt that really beautiful energy.
It transcends the air, and I felt like everybody wanted me to get a hit. To have a home run was a bonus.
Lopez wants it away, and it's hit deep to left center. Andrew Jones on the run. This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza, and the Mets lead 3-2.
I can't believe it's 20 years. I'll tell you that. That's the first thing that comes to mind.
The silver lining that I made so many new friends. I was adopted into so many new families. My life was blessed by new relationships that were made because of this horrific event, and that's, I guess, the only way I could look at the bright side of what happened 20 years ago.